Yo, what's going on, pilots? This is Kills in a Night. So the Mecha Break beta playtest for PC has sadly concluded. I was thoroughly enjoying my time in the game and somewhat in the menus, but overall I gotta say I was really impressed. But I do have some concerns. Thankfully, the dev team has recently released a video response to many of the community's frequently asked questions. Will our concerns be addressed? Well, let's take a look.
我们应该这回不会爆料太多哈，对。但是来讲的话，你在游戏里面嘛，你花7万，对不对？
All right, so what they're talking about here is when you buy mechs. Right now, they're saying when you buy a mech, you just basically get like a paint scheme or a skin. But in the future, the mechs are going to come with their own designated pilots, a unique paint scheme, skins, decal set. But the strikers themselves will have customizable equipment and weapons. This is a pretty cool idea. All right, so something that I was looking forward to in the game was a social space. And what they're talking about here is the hangar being expanded where your players are able to walk around, kind of inspect your mechs up close. And it looks like here this could be a cutscene, but look in the left-hand corner. We got a mini-map, right? And it shows your character's direction. That's not something you generally see in a cutscene, so I believe that you will be able to walk freely around in this hangar. And they're talking about not just the hangar, but you'll be able to interact with designated pilots. Does that mean that it's just the pilots that you've purchased for the certain mechs that you'll be able to interact with, or are we going to be able to interact with other players? Yet to be determined. All right, so in addition, they're talking about, besides the hangar, there's going to be a bar, a cafeteria, a shooting range, and other facilities, including, I'm assuming, pilots' living quarters. But I'm excited. I'm looking forward to walking around the social space, grabbing a boba tea at the cafe, maybe customizing my living quarters. We'll see what they have, but this is all very promising. And a shooting range. So a shooting range is something I've always wanted in a game where we could possibly go test out weapons and equipment before we actually purchase them. Is that going to be the case in this game with this social space? We'll see, but all promising signs. All right, a new map, and it sounds like a new mode here, Mashmak. Mode and map in one. It's huge, 256 square kilometers. That's massive. So this map is going to be 10 times bigger than the observatory map. That's huge. We're going to have a 3-person squad. It sounds like it's going to be an extraction game mode. PV, yes, player versus environment versus player, where you fight NPCs, bosses, elite units. Yeah, we're looking at a 3v3 extraction mode here, which is cool. I'm looking forward to that. But it sounds like a mode that a lot of players might gravitate towards. You know, you get to get some loot, play some PvE, but those who are little adventurers might be looking forward to sticking around and trying to take out a few squads along the way. So we'll see what that has to offer.
我知道玩家心里面应该有一个梦想，就是说我能不能秒杂兵？
What loot to expect in the Mashmak mode? Well, it looks like we're getting cosmetics and mods, which is what we would have expected, but what kind? Are these cosmetics going to be related to the Mashmak mode and solely achievable through Mashmak, or will these be cosmetics and mods that we can get through other avenues? How do you get the mods and what are they for? So hopefully they touch on the pay-to-win concerns that the community has. So mods right now, they're saying, can tweak your striker's stats. They're saying, you know, mod boosts one stat, but also weakens another, so there's a sacrifice in play. He's making a good point right here. The point is that not every mech comes out of the box right for every pilot, right? And so potentially some of these strikers need some tweaks, some fine-tuning in order to hit that sweet spot. All right, there it is. So for Mecha Break, pay to win is out of the question. We won't allow that. The business model for Mecha Break in the future is more about cosmetics. Okay. She's saying that's reassuring. That is reassuring. That's something that a lot of players were really concerned about. I'm sure this is not going to remove everyone's concern about pay to win. That's usually the foremost concern for a community as a game nears launch. How are they going to handle microtransactions. How are they going to handle purchasable items? It sounds like the devs are saying that the mods are only available as loot in the game and that purchasable items are going to be reserved for cosmetics. All right, we're jumping into some frequently asked questions. These are things that have been on, questions that the community has asked on Twitter, in the community forums. And the idea behind the challenges is that we want to highlight specific abilities of a striker to the players. So it's more like a extended tutorial where you really have to learn and know the intricacies of these abilities in order to succeed. Looks like in the official release there will be a longer tutorial before each challenge on how to, be successful in the challenges. That would be welcomed. It's going to really kind of go into detail about the effects and the time, the cooldowns, and etc. of these weapons and equipment. How does Mecha Break maintain a balance between different strikers? All right, game balance. If pay to win is the #1 concern for community going into a game's launch, then obviously game balance is going to be #2. And here it looks like the devs aren't so much concerned about trying to create a perfect balance before the game launches, but creating an ability to implement a learning curve within each striker. It might be a little bit lost in translation here, but what I think they're getting at is that every striker is going to have its strength, right? Some may seem OP at first, but if the pilot is able to grow into the striker and able to recognize its strengths, its weaknesses, how to counter, it sounds like that is where the balance is going to take place, actually inside the game. And it's up to the devs to fine-tune this learning curve, or what they're calling it, so that every pilot is able to grow into, if not every striker, maybe a handful of strikers that they're able to fully express themselves in. I like this approach, but will it be able to achieve a traditional balance within the game? That's yet to be determined, but I have faith in the devs. It sounds like they have a good plan in place, and they're going to be sticking with it, fine-tuning this learning curve of pilot skill and expression. He's going to end with saying that a pilot makes the mech, not the other way around. I totally agree. That's a great point that they're making here, and something that we can look forward to really exploring and diving into the strengths of each of these mechs. All right, why is my final score in 6v6 mode so low despite completing objectives? It sounds like what they're getting at is that they're going to rework the scoring and rebalance it and give more weight towards completing objectives, which is fair and which is kind of what it should be. Playing for objective, you are sacrificing oftentimes kills or stealing kills as it goes in this game. Whereas, if I sit trying to grab a key or 3 keys, that's potentially a lot of damage I could be missing out on. So I think they should reevaluate those and readjust the scoring. The post-battle screens are so slow. What's going on? This is a common complaint, that why does it take so long to get to another game? Basically, the dev here, Chris, is saying, yeah, another mea culpa, that's our fault. We need to give you a smoother experience, and that's what we're going to work on. Hopefully that's something that comes along with the official release. So which platforms will Mecha Break be available on? So, all right, we're going to get Mecha Break on PC and console, so that's Xbox, PlayStation, and that looks like a Steam Deck. I don't have a Steam Deck, but it looks like it could be a fun addition to the gaming experience here.
也是我们的这个程序很好玩，他就拿陀螺仪在这去玩，然后我看到他就像一个神经病，你知道吗？就是拿着这个手机这样子，就因为他屏幕是这样上下的，对，然后左右这样转。我说你玩累不累？他说是挺累的。我们会愿意去尝试一些新的设备。So at the end here, he's talking about additional devices, and it sounds like he's talking about flight sticks, flight simulator flight sticks, hands-on throttle and stick, or Hotas. Flight stick support would be something that would get a lot of players excited. So I'm excited to see that personally. That would be a lot of fun. Overall, I would say this video was a success. It answered some of our questions. It didn't answer all of our questions, but it definitely did file down some of those burrs that the community was really worried about. It's done nothing but increased my interest in Mecha Break. I hope it's done the same for you as well. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. I encourage you to subscribe to the channel if you are interested in more Mecha Break content, as we will be covering any future developments from the devs. That's it, and we'll see you in the next one.